All right, folks. Today we're going to go over the final portion of electrical, and that's attaching my external power, which we tested earlier on another video. But this time I'm going to have a battery set up. One, I'm eventually have two. And we're going to make sure everything works like it's supposed to. So we're going to open this up, and it has a 3-prong 30 amp, and I have a extension cord set up here. This is going to a 30 amp breaker. So we have this goes in and then turns to tighten it, and then you have this tighten onto it. It's got a little light there to show you have incoming power. Right now I have all the breakers off. Then we're going to go ahead and connect this. Do this without shocking myself. Should have a green light there, which I do. Now, here's where my batteries are going to go. This is a 200 amp hour, 12 volt, 4 cell lithium iron phosphate battery. I got it on AliExpress. Total shipped was $400, about $395, but that was tax and shipped. And what I have is a 500 amp shunt right here, and I've got, you can see the power comes, the ground comes from the battery into the shunt, and then you have a small power cable coming from the shunt to positive out of the battery. That's my emergency brake switch. That's battery 1, that's battery 2, and that's battery 1 and 2, and it combines them in parallel, so that will give me 400 amp hours with 2 batteries. But I'm just going to run 1 battery. So right now I'm going to have it off. And let me go ahead and attach both batteries. And right now I have, even though I have ground power, the breaker for the converter is off. So I have no shore power right now. So let me hook this up real quick. All right, so there's 1 battery. Now, if I want to do a second battery, I'll take this cable. I'll have a second battery here, and I'll hook negative to negative. And then this cable would go over here to the second positive. And then when you hook this together, 1 and 2, it runs them in parallel, which doubles the amps, or combines the amps. So right now everything's off. I'm going to go ahead and switch on battery 1, which would be, I think it has a 1 right there. There's a 1. Put this cable up here. All right, now that I have everything connected, I should have power or lights. There you go. Got some lights over here. And then we have some overhead lights. We have cooktop, fan, light. Where is it? There it is. Over here, we have lights here, here, and here. These are all running off the battery. Now I should get a TV.
Bubble right here. Just block everything else out. Focus on the target.
I should have another remote. Turn that off. It's stereo, but I can turn that on. Got stereo. There's the battery monitor. 100% because I did charge the battery. Now if you have one of these, let me flip around. If you have one of these monitors, when you first set it up, it's going to be way off. What you need to do is you need to have your battery fully charged or fully discharged when you first set this up. If it's fully charged, once you plug it in and you get power, you hit the arrow up. Well, first you got to hit this double arrow, hold it in, and that turns off that display from flashing. Hold the OK button for like 3 seconds. You'll get this display. Usually by default it's set to 100 amp hours, I think. So you go ahead and configure by pressing the down and up arrow, and then you hit the OK, and then you can hit OK again. It'll go to the next box, and then you just set whatever your amp hour is. If I'm only running one battery, it's going to say 200. If I'm running 2 batteries, I need to come in and change this to 400. Then you go ahead and hit the arrow back, or this double arrow, and then you can go down and set your high voltage, your low voltage, and your alarm amp hour. So when it gets down to 20 amp hour, it'll start to alarm that, you know, the batteries are getting low. Once you're all done with that, hit the double arrow again, and you'll go back to the main display to tell you what your status is. This is my water pump. That works. Water heater works. I know that I think I gotta figure out the water heater, because that's what this is for. That's what this display is for. So, but that's the 12 volts for the igniter. So I think I gotta have actually water going to it, water pressure going to it. So anyhow, that's all that's set up. Get out from behind here. I can check. Here's the router for networking. It's up and running. Then I have, I still have to enclose in this here. Then I got another light here. These are all LED bulbs. So I need to find out what my total draw is. So I'm going to turn everything on, fan, light. Lights on full. Open up my fan here. Get that on. Light on. Light on. All the lights on. Turn on the stereo, but turn its volume down. Turn on the TV. think what else? 12 volt. I want to turn the volume down. Okay. Turn on these lights. So that is everything 12 volts. Oh wait. This. Right now this is saying that I'm pulling 10 amps, which I don't even think that's even right. But let's bring up the app for the battery and take a look. All right, so this is the app that I use. You have to, once you get it in here, you'll show it, it's connected. And you can see that right now I have a draw of 10 amps, 10.22 amps with all that stuff on. I have 198 amp hours available, which says that it'll give me about 19 and a half hours of use if I'm running everything. Now, I'm right now not running the refrigerator, which is going to be the main important part of this thing. So I'm going to plug the refrigerator in and see how much it pulls now. Now I'm doing 10.32 amps. I think I need a... I don't think this... might have to try a different inverter. I think this won't have enough power. I thought I got a 6,000 watt inverter. Should run this refrigerator. You see it's pulling 32 amps. I'm going to have to maybe get a different one. Obviously this one's not working right. I do have another one in the garage that I'm going to try. So anyhow, other than that fix, this is everything. I haven't tried the microwave. I'm going to see if the microwave works. It's on. Nope, I don't think it's got enough power in that inverter. I'm gonna have to try a new inverter. Oh yeah, it's working. All right, so yeah, I think I'm gonna need a bigger inverter. So the whole idea is to be able to cook and keep food cold for a period of time. One of the things most important to pay attention to is down here at the bottom, your temperature of your battery, 22.2 C isn't a bad temp. You want it around 25 C all the time. I'm out here in the trailer. It's pretty hot out here. Go ahead and turn this fan off. And then turn this fan off. That's the fan up there. You can see it. Amps are dropping. These LED lights, 3 at a time. They're like a half amp for all 3. Maybe, looks like about 2 amps for all 9 lights. The TV, I dropped a couple amps. And then the stereo, dropped what, 1 amp? And then we have each one of these lights. These overhead lights that I got on, turn them all off. And you can see all the amps dropping. Not very much though, because these are all LED. But now you'll see I'm going to turn on the power on the inverter, or on the converter power station. This is a Progressive Dynamics. It is a 4060, which is a 60 amp. The battery's supposed to handle 110 amps max charge amperage, but I don't think it doesn't charge that much. I think it charges at like 30 amps. The thing about the Progressive Dynamics, they have a switch on them to go between lead acid and lithium, and they can handle lithium and lithium iron phosphate. There's a little switch. It's you have to take the cover off. If this is compatible, just make sure there should be a sticker on the front that says Li or La. La for lithium, for lead acid, Li for lithium. You need to make sure that it's in Li if you have lithium or lithium phosphate, lithium iron phosphate batteries, or life PO4. Then once you turn your switches on, you'll see that's my main power coming on. And then this is the AC unit. And now I'll turn on the converter and you'll watch the amperage will jump. See, now it's charging at 36 amps. That's input charge. And you see the little lightning bolt. And then I can turn on the rest of the 110. And now all of my outlets are on. Everything is working the way it should. I think the only thing I didn't understand is I don't think the water heater will come on. I don't think the water heater controller comes on unless there's water pressure. So, because it doesn't want to try to turn on propane and ignite the water heater if there's no water in there. So, that's what I got going on right now. If you look at the controller, it shows that it's charging, just like this display is charging. So, let me go ahead and get out of this display. I'll show you where that switch is on the converter. All right, so here's the converter. If you take the cover off, now this is on the 4060. Some of them are different. Here's the little sticker. But back in this corner is where that switch is. You need to make sure that it coincides with what kind of battery you have. Either you have a lead acid or you have a lithium. One of the two. And I think that's it for power. All my electrical is done. Now all this stuff is running off of the converter while it's charging the battery. And you can look at the battery controller. Shows like 50 amps. That's different than what I'm seeing off the battery itself. That's the fan. There's a fan inside here. It does not come on if you're only running 110. If you don't have a battery connected, that fan doesn't come on. So don't think that when you first hook it up, you don't see that fan working, that there's a problem. That fan is for the converter that's charging the battery. So right now, the battery's almost fully charged. I'm going to go ahead and shut everything down and disconnect it. But electrical wise, we're all done. Now I need to build out these cabinets, put in some shelves and some drawers, and then build out this section in the back and put a couple cabinets up in here so you can put some towels and stuff, hide all this wiring. I might put like a piece of wood right here to hide all this wiring and keep it away from everything. And then we'll paint everything. I think we're going to go with like a gray. And then over here, I'll be ready to build out the shower, which I'm going to put some wall panels on the wall and on this panel here. And then seal it all up and put a shower curtain that'll go across here. And then, then build out this closet over here. I still got some work to do. Got any questions? Hit me up. You have any ideas? See, that fan just shut down. That means it's pretty much done with charging. Didn't need to do very much anyhow. But if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'll talk to y'all later.